Imagine holding your own mayor at gunpoint. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the mayor of South Fulton, Georgia, which is right there in the Atlanta metro area. His name is Khalid Kamal, a black guy, a socialist, pro-black, real woke, Black Lives Matter, that kind of guy. He went from the city council to becoming the mayor of South Fulton, and he's been full of problems and controversy ever since. Maybe I can find some things and link to it in the box. But his most recent situation involved him being accused of burglary and then having to be held at gunpoint by the homeowner. Now, this story is totally crazy, but I can't say I'm surprised when you're talking about these communist type guys. They want to do whatever they want to do. And then they're big time hypocrites too, because a big communist guy, a Black Lives Matter, you would think he'd be defund the police. All cops are bad guys. A word for a fatherless child to replace the phrase bad guy. They say all these things, but then when it comes to them and the police, oh, that's my police force. Do you know who I am? I'm not going to jail. Before I go any further into it, let's just roll some clips. If you want to see these clips without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
All right, new details tonight surrounding the arrest of South Fulton Mayor Khalid Kamal. Yesterday, the charges in Fulton County Court were listed as criminal trespassing and burglary in the first degree, but today, a 13-page document obtained by this television station works to offer more context and explanation behind the charges. Erica Murphy has more tonight from South Fulton on what is contained in the reports.
According to the documents obtained by 11 Alive, Khalid Kamal is alleged to have made his way onto private property along Cascade Palmetto Parkway sometime before 7 a.m. on Saturday. On site are a residence and a lake house, which the owner says is mostly used for storage. The owner of the property tells law enforcement surveillance cameras detected Kamal walking up the driveway and eventually inside that lake house.
Let's pause for a minute. So, my man just happens to see a house, just a random house on a lakeside. And he's like, you know what I want to do? I want to not only just go check it out, but I want to walk inside. Now, in what part of the world is that legal? Where can you just walk into somebody's house? It don't matter if it's abandoned. Maybe you thought it was abandoned, but I don't think so. I mean, it looked like it might have been halfway abandoned, but not really. It was probably taken care of. Regardless of what's going on, you can't just walk into somebody's house like that. That's not what it is, okay?
After calling 911, the property owner made his way close enough to make contact with Kamal, ordering him to, quote, stay put.
So, do you not see the sign right here? Private property, no trespassing. You can't just walk into somebody's property and walk inside their house.
The property owner admitted to carrying a firearm at the time, but that Kamal didn't say that he was a South Fulton mayor until after it was by his side. The warrants go on to say when Kamal came outside, he allegedly rejected those orders, going as far as to tell the property owner, quote, you can't give me orders. Do you know who the blank I am? I'm the mayor, and I'll wait for my police force to get here. When South Fulton...
the way she was reading that probably was not the way that he was saying it. You can't give me orders. Do you know what the F I am? I'm the mayor. Wait till my police force get here and we'll see what happens then. He's irate. He's irate, getting triggered out of control because he got caught in somebody else's house. Imagine that. Imagine the unmitigated gall you have to behave that way after you get caught doing something. And you know what? People do that when they're guilty of a thing. That's what usually happens. But I digress. Let's keep on going.
He's forced to get here. When South Fulton police made contact with Kamal, he told law enforcement he was driving by the Cascade Palmetto Parkway property at the time and that it was his, quote, dream house. The criminal warrant states that Kamal was aware he was criminally trespassing at the time, but he alleged it was the property owner who was aggressive. Kamau also told authorities that the property owner had a firearm, but alleged that the owner told Kamau, quote, "If you take another step, I'm going to shoot you." According to Kamau, it was not until after he was walking away from the property owner that he identified himself as the mayor. Today, 11 Alive attempted to talk with Kamau about what happened, but no one answered when we arrived.
So is that his house right there? Wait a minute. Let's go back. Is that Kamal's house? Man, you got a pretty nice house. So why you got to walk into somebody else's house? Someone's your dream house. Like you can't talk to a realtor. You can't you can't call HGTV. I mean, you want to go in there and try to do some renovations, put in new floors and roofs and everything else. Just call the people at HGTV and have them do that. I'm sure they want to have African-American, pro-black, blackity-black, woke guy on their network. That'd be a win-win for them. You're just doing things that don't make any sense.
Kamau about what happened, but no one answered when we arrived at this address. It's Erica Murphy from 11 Alive News. Anyone there? We also reached out to the property owner, but we have not heard back. Kamau is free on an $11,000 bond and is due back in court on September 12th. Reporting from South Fulton, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
Tonight we received a new statement from the city of South Fulton saying the mayor back at his home and that officials anticipate his return to service for the city. We've tried to bring you the...
Wait a minute. You didn't read that full thing. Let's read the full thing. I hate when they truncate stuff and they put it on the screen. Anyway, the statement says the mayor has returned home and we anticipate his return to service for the city. We kindly request that you keep the mayor, council, and the entire city in your thoughts and prayers. The entire city? Like, what do you... The mayor was trespassing and was acting the fool when he got caught trespassing. So what's that got to do with the whole city needing prayers? Prayers for what? Prayers for your criminal mayor doing something that he shouldn't have been doing? Hand in the cookie jar? I mean, that's totally ridiculous. I have more here. Let's watch this part because they did an interview with Mr. Kamau afterward. Let's check it out.
Mayor, why were you on that property?
I just wanted to see the house. I do apologize to the owners. I thought it was abandoned.
What do you say to your constituents?
See, that was my thought process. He thought it was abandoned or something like that. Okay. But at the same time, you can't just walk into you can't just do stuff like that, exploring. And then check it out. You get caught on the property. You don't need to be making all these, do you know who I am? You need to be apologetic. If you truly thought the property was abandoned, and you get caught on the property when the homeowner comes, be apologetic. I apologize because that's their property. You can't just walk into somebody's house because you think nobody lives there. And then somebody does live there. And when you get caught, you wouldn't be aggressive like you didn't do anything wrong. If you thought it was abandoned, you made a mistake and you need to own up to it rather than trying to act like you didn't do anything.
I apologize for the negative attention this has brought to our city, but I hope that the spotlight that is on our city right now will highlight some of the inequities that have been happening.
Inequities? What are you talking about, sir? First of all, you need to be apologizing in general. Don't be saying, oh, well, I apologize for negative attention. You apologize for your behavior. You went into somebody's home that they owned. You thought it was abandoned, allegedly. You got caught. You wanted to act a fool, cuss the person out, accuse them of wrongdoing. You should be owning up to that and say, you know what? I made a mistake. I thought it was abandoned. I apologize to the homeowner. I apologize for my actions. That should be what you do, but you're unrepentant. You just like, well, y'all are the ones making a big deal out of it. I didn't do anything. That's not taking accountability for your actions. And I don't like that. If you're the mayor, especially, you need to lead by example. If you cannot take accountability for your actions, then why would anybody else in the community? If you got problems in the community, a lot of that starts with the people of the community. If they're not doing right and they're not being accountable for their own actions and you're not doing it either, who is going to take accountability for their own actions? Nobody. But let's continue.
So you're guilty of the charges?
I think that's for the voters to decide.
All right, I think that is a wrap for that particular video right there. Now, I'm going to just look at this article right quick, and then we're going to keep on rocking. Socialist Georgia mayor arrested for burglarizing home. Okay, now, this little piece right here, then we're going to wrap it up. So Khalid Kamal, he's a vocal Democratic socialist and co-founder of the Atlanta chapter of Black Lives Matter. Okay, that's all you need to know right there. That is all you need to know. Okay, and then some more of what he said as far as when the homeowner confronted him. Quote, "I don't have to listen to you, and you can't give me orders." He then screamed profanities at the homeowner. He later said that he wanted to see the home because he thought he liked to live there, and he was aware that he was a criminal. So he was aware that he was trespassing, but he thought it was abandoned. Well, if you know you're trespassing, then you know that you're in the wrong. It doesn't matter if it's abandoned or not. You know you're trespassing on private property and you shouldn't be there. So you can't just, do whatever you want to do, break the law or whatever. Okay, so let me read the rest of this right here. It says, Democratic Socialists believe our country should be run by real working people, not big corporations and billionaires. Okay, he further calls, check it out. He further calls for defunding police and cutting military spending. But then when it comes to you getting caught in somebody's house, handing the cookie jar, do you know who I am? Wait till my police force gets here. So you want the police to be there for you, to bail you out, to cover your back, but you want to also defund the police. Make that make sense. This is typical of the left. As I close, I want to say this. This reminds me of Alyssa Milano talking about defund the police, all cops are bad people, talking all that jazz. But then when she thought there was some young man on her property with an airsoft gun, well, what was found out to be an airsoft gun, and he was doing something that she thought was wrong, she called the police and the whole town police came. I'm talking about fire, police, EMS, helicopters. The whole force came out for what wound up being some 13-year-old on the property with an airsoft gun hunting squirrels. So they're all hypocrites. These Democratic socialists, far left liberal people, they'll say one thing, then they'll do something else. They feel like they are above the law. That's probably why they want to cut the police for real, because they want to do whatever they want to do. But then when they need protection, when they need backup, all of a sudden, the same police they want to cut and attack and defund and demean, they want to bring back to help them, but not you. That is how it goes. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this case of Khalid Kamal, the mayor of South Fulton, the city of South Fulton, Georgia, in the Atlanta metro area? How do you feel about this guy getting arrested and being held at gunpoint by the homeowner? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is far too typical of these far leftists. They'll say one thing, then do another. They think that they are above the law, that nobody can do anything to them. This is like the communist kind of mind state. They think they're going to be above everybody. Everybody's going to be equal except for them. But the problem is they're going to be the first ones that get lined up and deleted. That's how it goes. History is doomed to repeat itself when you don't learn from it. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.